says, you know, his attitude, team's attitude is put your head down and go to work. Do you kind of agree with that sentiment?
Absolutely. You just, uh, totally, very black and white the other, as far as watching the film the other day and just pointed out to him. He pointed out where we are and what's what's causing us problems, and it's missed assignments. It's losing your focus during the game, not applying what we're doing in practice to the game field, and we got to coach it better. We got to play better. Um, I've said this like for the first month. There are times we're really good, and there are times that we're beating ourselves, and that's happening way too much. And you just got to stay. Not a time to panic. It's a time to stay the course, stay with the process, and just keep working, and keep cleaning it up, keep getting better, and it's all you can do, And the kids they had a players only meeting the other day after we talked, and we'll see how we respond here on the practice field, and the thing that at times has me shaking my head is the things that are getting us on game day are things that we're doing right during the week, and for what we got to figure that out, like why is that happening on game day, and that's my job to figure it out, and in some cases that's changing the personnel, in some cases it's coach it better, play better, it's have more focus. There's turn over every stone and just keep working and getting better and cleaner as we go on. Yeah, I still think we have a chance to be a good football team, but right now we're not a good football team because we're beating ourselves.
Do you feel like you're making progress in the area of figuring out, why things aren't translating from practice to games?
Well, in some cases it's a few cases it's inexperience. In few cases, there are some things that are some errors that are happening that are just unacceptable. Um, and in some of those cases, it's let's look at you know keep turning over stones, looking at other guys, giving other guys opportunities to change the personnel, whatever it may be, find our right combinations where those things aren't happening, and uh, because that we can't continue down that road.
Um, on the subject of trying new combinations, is it Devonair? Is that pronounced his name right? Devonair Crenshaw. He go out there at safety Saturday. How did he do?
Um, he did some good things. He did some things that weren't as good. He's still learning. Um, uh, he's he's a work in progress, but the secondary has been a work in progress, especially uh, with the safeties we had that went down for the year. I mean, it's been we don't have a lot of experience back there, and it's guys are still learning. And we're keeping it pretty simple, but um, uh, we got to get some of these offenses that we're playing right now that with a lot of moving parts. You can only keep it simple to an extent. That you have to be able to adjust and apply your roles, and we're not doing that very well at times.
But were you kind of happy the players took it on their own to hold that team a players only meeting?
Well, I pushed them in that direction. Um, there's just some things we got to get figured out, and I think and I told our coaches that I understand. It's up to me to get it fixed, and um, but there are some areas that where we just I said everybody's got to look themselves in the mirror and look at how you're preparing, how you're approaching the game, how you're look into why. Because I got to be honest with you, I've been coaching for a long time. There's sometimes I'm having a hard time identifying why that's happening. Um, because I'm a guy who puts a lot of stock in practice, always have. Um, and we got beat on a couple plays on Saturday where we ran at guy. We had a miss assignment, couple miss assignments on offense. We ran that play 6, 7, 8 times during the week, and didn't have a missed assignment. And defensively ran a couple plays that our guys probably close to 10 times during the week, and didn't do what we did on Saturday. Sometimes that as a coach, sometimes that has me scratching my head, and that happened multiple times. And so that's a hard one to figure out at times. And but once again, it's just about keep teaching, keep emphasizing. I think our communication across the board on the field has to get better. I think some of our experienced guys got to communicate better. I'm looking at every possible everything. We're looking at everything we're doing, and doing everything to correct it. Because, like I said, you look at the plays where it's not a physical thing right now. It's really not. It's there are a couple things where we misjudged the ball, and there were a couple plays on the ball that we should have made. To me, those are physical things, but which hurt us. But the amount of mental errors was mind blowing, and that we just dropped coverage, or we have 10 guys doing the right thing and one guy just brain locked, and everybody looks bad. And it's when we got 11 guys doing it the right way, physically we could hold up, but we can't have the mental errors. And it was a really, really simple game plan defensively. And so to alleviate that part of it, and boy, we didn't execute very well.
I'm sure you must have personal interaction with some of the players involved. In general, when you ask them, what happened? You did that perfectly all week in practice. What happened? Is there kind of a generic response?
In a lot of cases, they don't know. Or they just look at you, and I feel for them, because there's not a young man who walks out onto the field wanting to make a mistake. It kills them. We had one play where the guy came off the field after the play, and I said, "Did you hear the call?" "Yes." "Did you hear the check?" "Yes." "What are you supposed to do?" Reiterates to me what's supposed to happen. "Why didn't you?" "I don't know." And so, like I said, sometimes that has me, found myself on the plane flying home, thinking, trying to figure it out. And then we're going to keep, like I said, in some cases we just got to try somebody else. Some case, and we just got to get them to keep understanding better. Our job as coaches is to do everything we possibly can, turn over every stone to give our players a chance to be successful, and keep working with them, keep teaching. Let's face it, we're in a different arena, but at the end of the day, we're teachers, and you just got to look at better ways and more ways and different ways to get it across. And I don't know whether at times we're putting too much pressure on ourselves. Maybe I'm putting too much pressure on them. At the end of the day, you got to look at everything. I look at myself first. I look at the coaches, and do what we can to help these young men have success. And so, because believe me, there's nobody who feels worse than somebody. I've been there as a player, and when you make a mistake, it hurts. And believe me, there are some guys that didn't play very well who gave up some plays that there's no one that feels worse than them. And it's our job to help them, so they don't find themselves in that situation. And we're going to continue to work to get that done. In a few instances, we're going to we go with a personnel change.
How would you grade Montgomery's performance? And obviously, as a defensive coach, I'm sure you don't want a quarterback throwing 57 times, but a lot of that
Absolutely
was
not. But it was a necessity, and I thought he did played pretty well. I mean, there are a couple throws and reads he'd want back. The one I know the first interception wasn't on him; it was on the route. It was on the receiver. He made the right read, the right throw, and we ran the wrong route and with the wrong split. Came back later on in the game with the same one that they intercepted the ball on, and we scored a touchdown on it. So, those are the things that really irritate you as a coach. But I think he's playing pretty good football. We got to play better around him. I can tell you that, because as many yards as we threw for and as well as he did, if we don't bust a couple routes here and there, we have some big plays that we left out on the field, especially in that first half. And we had exactly the look, and we ran the wrong route, and we end up taking a check down for 5 instead of having a 25-yard gain where somebody's wide open. And we're lead. That's happening to us way too many times. And in the run game, we mistargeted some things. We left some big plays out there in the run game, some big plays, like monster plays, where one guy didn't do what he was supposed to do, and we would have been into the secondary in a heartbeat. And we end up with a no gain or a loss of 1, and that's killing us right now. It's killing us.
What do you, I know you worry about what your team, can you give us just some brief synopsis of some?
Well, Southern Illinois does a lot of very, I wouldn't say they're obviously different than Western Illinois. Offensively they have some similarities, some moving parts, some spread out, and they put a lot of yards up at times. They're pretty good. They do a nice job offensively. It's basically the same offense we've seen for the last couple of years, and defensively very similar what they've done. They're a mix of 4-man front, a little bit of bear, some, I guess multiple coverages, but they're a good football team. They're better than their record, I can tell you that. I think they hung 38 on Ole Miss in the first half, and they've lost some close games. They're a very capable football team.
How do you balance moving on from that game when there are a lot of things that you want to correct and make sure these kids understand, to moving on to this game and being ready for the next opponent?
Well, I think they understand it. We got to figure out how we translate it to Saturday. I think our guy. That's the thing. I think our guys they understand. It's what the mistake. It's not like, well, I didn't know that. We knew it and didn't do it. We got to get them doing it, and that's us. That's us as coaches. We got to get them. And like I said, I'm looking at every possible way to make this a more efficient football team. But it's moving forward. You have to you take the things. It's like we try to tell our players every day. It's learn from your mistakes, apply what you learned, move on. We can't control what happened last weekend. It's on to the next thing, and I'm on to the next meeting, the next practice. Do what we can do today to make our football team better, and that's my approach. I'm not a guy that looks all way into the future. It's handle what you can handle today. Stay with it, and that's always worked for me. And I believe that's the right approach. I've been coaching for a long time, and I've been in this type of situation before. And the worst thing you can do is panic and try to recreate the wheel. That doesn't work. It's stay with what you know works, and keep teaching and do it better, and coach it better, and that's our mindset.
Well, you're a competitor. How much does this bother you? Maybe not here in the office, but
It rips my heart out. I mean, it does. I mean, there's no one in the world who hates losing. You'd have to be hard pressed to find someone who hates losing more than I do. But you got to pack it away. And at the end of the day, it's about serving these kids and giving them a chance to be successful. Uh, and you emotionally, it's hard at times. That part of it's hard. And but I'm not going to sit there and feel sorry for myself or feel sorry. We're in this situation because we put ourselves in this situation. But you stay with I believe wholeheartedly in the process, and you have to just keep staying with it, stay with it, and try to use each day, and keep working to get better. Look at everything you're doing and figure out a way to do it better. And that's my message to the team. That's what I believe in.
Cash took a targeting call against Western. Told us some time this week, I take it. And how do you plan to address that?
As far as who's going to play,
Yeah.
well, nickel, there would be a couple different guys that Christian Randall Posey plays well. Teray Bryant. And in base, Ray Anderson will be the starting will. Guys that have, guys that rep and have played some football for us, and I think they're very capable.